So when I started lending on real estate deals, I was doing small deals. What if something goes sideways? And I did have a deal go sideways. I got wiped out $75,000 on one deal. But as I got more comfortable swinging around a little bit more, I started doing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger deals. Okay, Pat.
Guys, welcome to episode 11.
11 of the Mind Method.
Past the 10 episode milestone. We have a legend and powerhouse in the real estate community, Rhea Campbell, with us. So excited to talk to you. Rhea, thank you so much for coming on. For those of our viewers who don't know you, tell us a bit about yourself.
What an amazing intro. So thank you. Wow. A legend and a powerhouse. I don't know if that's all accurate and true, but thank you for the warm welcome. And I have to tell you guys, I'm delighted to be here. I feel so grateful that I get to know both of you. Tamar, you and I are just getting to know each other, but I had the privilege of having dinner with your husband and attending a meetup in Canada, my home country, recently. And it was just absolutely delightful. So thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. So my name is Rhea Campbell. I'm a 22-year commercial real estate veteran. I worked in tenant representation for the first 5 years with CB Richard Ellis. And then I ran my own company for the remainder of that time up until 2023. And in 2023, I started investing in hard assets, real estate. I started with some single family homes to structure some deals more creatively and realized very quickly that's not where I wanted to be, and transitioned out into commercial real estate, which is really my background. I'm a lender. I'm a borrower. I'm a sponsor. I own a hotel. I run a land business. And I recently sold my medical company. I run a direct primary care or concierge medicine business with 5 locations here in Chicago. And my husband and I recently exited to private equity. So that was kind of a life-changing moment. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm really just a crazy entrepreneur, I guess is the best way to describe it.
And she said she's not a powerhouse.
Yeah, powerhouse.
Crazy entrepreneur, I think, is maybe better terminology. I have a lot of energy that needs to be burned.
Amazing, which is what you need to be an entrepreneur these days. You need to have the drive and the energy to get up and get after your goals. And I mean, I've met you. We've only met in person recently, but we had connections through the Sub2 community. And I had heard of you. Your reputation precedes you. And all the things that you have been accomplishing on top of the 22 years in commercial real estate, but only in a short period of time within the Sub2 community, and building your reputation and affecting the lives of other people, and in being a leader in the community is truly remarkable. So first of all, kudos to you for being a leader in the space. That's a huge deal. I love seeing a Canadian leading in the US real estate community, which is awesome. Shout out to Pace, but also women like my wife and yourself. I really take a lot of joy in seeing women who are elevated and accomplished and really crushing it in their niche and in their field. So kudos to you. We want to ask you all about it. So we want to hear from you literally everything, I guess, mindset related in your journey. So how did your mindset play a role in how you've achieved success, and what would you attribute it to? Are there certain things that you did along the way? Let's start there.
Boy, so mindset. This is my husband he jokes with me because he says, "You're a mindset." And the reason that he uses the air quotes is because I never thought about mindset, not even once in my entire life. So I'm going to take you back. So I'm an alpha, right? I just have an alpha personality. I grew up with 2 older brothers, right, Tamar? And I've always been an action taker. I've always been someone that says, well, I'll try it out. And what's the worst that can happen? But at the same time, right, listen, I live a life of privilege. I'm very lucky, right? I was born into a family that gave me all of the support, paid for me to go to college. I didn't come out with debt. I'm married to a wonderful man who was a physician. We had a great education. So we already have a significant leg up, right? So let's be honest. I didn't believe that I had mindset issues because I had a lot of room to move around in whatever that box was that I was in. And because I had success, what I deemed as success, right? Before I was in commercial real estate, I worked for Fairmont Hotels and Resorts and for Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. And I had a nice corner office and I made a decent living, and we would make a bonus, might make 90, 100,000, and your bonus could be 50. I think one year it was 55,000, right? That was really good money long ago. And you're in a corner office and you're traveling on company expenses, right? That looks successful. But I will tell you guys, it's like you wear a loose shirt, but it doesn't really feel like it fits. That never felt like it fit for me. So I always had these entrepreneurial tendencies that I had not explored. And then once I shifted into commercial real estate and I was really able to get my feet underneath me, I will say it was sort of pseudo entrepreneurial, because working for CB Richard Ellis, you're still working for a big flag, big brand, but you have to hunt what you kill. So it's pseudo entrepreneurial, not until I went out and started my own business. But remember, at the same time, I had a husband who worked at the University of Chicago as a physician leader. So we had a W-2 job with golden handcuffs. So I really, again, I had a safety net, never had complete risk. It wasn't until he decided to leave the University of Chicago that I was an entrepreneur and he was fully an entrepreneur, that we were then in the world of, hey, you have to make all of this happen. But where the mindset shift happened, because it didn't happen even at that point, I started to get more comfortable with risk and money. Because remember, I come from a family where my father was a Depression era baby. And so you save your money and you hope that you have enough at retirement, and $3-4 million at retirement. You live off your whatever the 4% that you have to draw from your RRSPs or your 401k here, and you're going to live a comfortable retirement. Like to swing for the fences, like kind of be more than comfortable. And it's not even about the money. It's about the scorecard, right? It's about the dopamine hit. It's about the leveling up. It's about the growth, right? The proof in the growth. And so what happened for me is in 2023, January of 2023, I looked around and said, there has to be more to what I'm doing. And I don't feel like I'm functioning. I don't feel like I've, using all of my capabilities. And I think I need to do things differently. And I don't remember kind of it all happened, but I joined a mentorship. I then joined a whole bunch of other mentorships because I realized the value of buying kind of the speeding up the learning by sort of, right, your own self-education. And it was through that experience that I took a look around and realized, wow, like I set my sights too low. And I only knew that because I started to surround myself with people like you guys. Now, the problem was that in my circle, there are very wealthy people, right? I'm in 50s. Some of our friends are chief commercial officers, CEOs, right? The head of McKinsey of North America, right? They have $4 million homes, $5 million homes. But I was always looking around going, well, yeah, like them. And I have more than enough. I'm never going to be able to spend all my money in my lifetime. But I wasn't really like growth that I wanted. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? I just wasn't hard charging toward that growth. But once I started to surround myself with people that were really swinging for the fences, that were growing personally, professionally, growing their wealth, growing their knowledge, I realized that I had a ceiling. I didn't know I had a ceiling. I used to look at people, said to myself, wouldn't it be nice to have a private jet? Why? Well, because I love to travel. Never said, well, why don't we? So the crazy thing is, I just hadn't said, why not me in some of those areas, mostly because I had a lot of room to move around. I don't know. I don't really need that much more. And I don't need that much more, but I like to have that much more because maybe I want to give it away. Maybe I want to, you could do with money other than just stockpile it for yourself. So once I got into the rooms, I surrounded myself with these, who were thinking dramatically different than the mainstream thinking. It shattered the ceiling that I was bumping up against and didn't know I was bumping up against. And look, I'm an action taker, right? So once I realized I have mindset issues, I was willing and able to take a look inside do I have mindset issues? Wow, that's an interesting idea. Let me take a look at that. Let me uncork that. And once I uncorked it and I looked inside, you know what I found, you guys?